live, just waiting on a ready from the Hydra. Monkey told me 1 second. Jipper says he's ready. Let's wait for confirmation. Okay, someone just left their team.
Okay, he's back.
Wait for the Anki signal because Miskie doesn't reply, so I'm not going to waste my time with that. All right, both teams are ready, so let's go. But yeah, both teams 0-2. Kind of important that both of them win. You don't want to start 0-3.
I mean, with the Hydras, they're coming off that game where they just lost. And I think this is just as good of a team that
Yeah,
they were playing. So
I mean, Jipper playing last night, losing by one score, I believe,
it was 3
with
points.
backups in. He didn't have Death and he didn't have Joshy.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a tough game. The only consolation I think for this Hydra team is I think Jipper's pocket movement might be worse than MVP's. So hopefully they'll have a little bit more of an impact.
Yeah, and I mean that Splatter line has been struggling on offense a little bit, not giving Jipper the kind of time that he needs for the play style he runs. Miskie, on the other hand, over on Hydra, I mean, always looking for the deep ball. Just needs to start taking checkdowns or maybe run more.
I mean, in that last game, Miskie was just dancing in the pocket, and that works in some games, and in some games it's just not there, and you just find yourself taking sack after sack.
Absolutely, Miskie only getting to the 22 on that kickoff, not the best. Let's see. I'd really like to see the Hydra come out here and score early because it seems like in both of their games they've gotten down early.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow start. I mean, Quan was going off. He had the hot hands in that last game. So, I mean, it looks like they're just straight up doubling him right off the bat.
Is it a catchable ball? I think. Not sure what happened there, but neither of them jumped for it. You would imagine Death would get swapped to Quan, but I guess they're just rocking with it right now.
Yeah, yeah. Usually, you just you lock down that one guy, and you throw your best defender on that island. So
I
maybe
mean,
that's what they're hoping happens here. Hopefully, I guess they're hoping Miskie doesn't use Itachi. And I mean, in that last game, Itachi ended it with maybe like 60 yards for 3 catches. So
Hippie shooting in there, just getting a little aggressive on the cell, giving Miskie plenty of time. Throws a good pass to Quan. Not sure what the route was. It looked like an improvised situation.
it was a get open situation.
Something to note is they got Hippie playing tackle when, to my knowledge, he's always either been a center and nose. That should be interesting, especially going against Anki, one of the best tackles in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because they have Volcom and Hippie in, I think Volcom's best position probably is nose, but I mean Hippie's, he's been playing nose center for a while, so I guess we'll see where they throw him on offense.
Itachi on Jipper. Kind of surprised Miskie didn't just put it up.
I mean, like I said, he really didn't use Itachi much in that last game.
Yeah, I mean, in their first game, though, I think Itachi was their leading receiver with like 160 or something like that. Yeah, the first game, they didn't get Quan involved. Quan only touching the ball 3 times.
I don't know. I think up against Jipper, Jipper loves to scheme his team. He's always active defense and offense. I think it'll be interesting to see Miskie try to overcome it.
Yeah, getting pressured right there. Hippie just blasting right by Anki, making Miskie throw the ball away. 4th and 2. I'd imagine a comeback or like an out in or something of the sort, just something quick and fast.
The 4-man coming in.
That's just
Middle
just
comeback's wide open. I mean, there's not much you can do there.
nah. I mean, you're always scared to bite underneath in that situation because you don't want to get burned.
Yeah. I mean, out of the outcomes that could happen, you definitely just stay over top, give them the comeback, and hope your blitz generates enough pressure that they can't see it or don't throw it. Ooh.
Quan on an in on that play. Jipper went to cover that strong side comeback, so there's just nobody there to guard him.
I mean, Quan, he's known for trolling, but he's also known for his yak. If you give Quan an in route, I mean, any of those could go for a touchdown.
Absolutely. I'm liking that looks like Miskie's trying to use his feet a little bit more in this game, something that he didn't do enough of in the first 2 games.
Yeah. I mean, there were a couple times where Miskie would step up to the line, and you could see the hesitation. He's looking for something to throw, and then it resulted in a sack because of it, or a sack or like low yardage results. Ooh, and
L-
the screen.
Looked like Itachi called for an IP screen right there. Unfortunately, this is not IP and it did not work.
I mean, screens are tough in forward down linemen because I mean, if you're on the edge there, you're really expecting to go out wide anyway. I mean, Volcom getting straight through.
Yeah. I mean, the screenplay in general is always I mean, I don't ever feel like it's that great of an idea because all it takes is a missed block for it to go horribly
Yeah,
wrong. But some
I
teams
mean,
love it.
from Volcom, if he'd watched the other game, all he would have to do was just go in, just really just go heavy on the pressure.
Miskie all the time in the world here.
Uh,
He
oh,
has a leverage to Quan, but it was way too short. Kind of surprised that that counted as a touchback. It looked like Des caught it on the 1, but
nah. I think when he landed, he was in the end zone. I think he was already in the air.
just like that, man. First drive of the game, you turn the ball over. It's Quan
And I
getting it
mean,
right back.
I think Jipper might have watched that last game. MVP just tossing it up to Icy's on Quan, and it worked almost every time. This is a different matchup.
It's Jipper with a lot of new receivers. I mean, him never really playing with Death before, but I mean, he's always looking for that fresh new talent.
Yeah, I mean, he said at the beginning when he drafted Death, he's really looking to turn him into the new Dupe Mean. So we'll see if he can manage.
Line struggling a little bit there, making Miskie just throw the ball away. It's
Yeah,
really like I'm
good.
not really seeing like ins outs. I mean, there's the one in from Quan, but I mean, it still seems like Miskie's just looking for a deep ball constantly.
Blitz on the outside, or well, not a blitz, but Volcom shifting to the outside. I mean, there you see if you see that, you just have to audible real fast to a run.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, that just
take the extra
leaves
second,
it
just run up the middle.
just makes it like an obvious free 5 at minimum. I mean,
I mean, it's second down too. It was 2nd and 10. You got Volcom lining up on the outside, like. But I
uh,
mean, this was the story of the last game too. It's just that pressure gets in. Miskie.
had Anki run an out route right there. Anki not being known for his hands, but
I mean, I respect it.
it looked like him and the receiver ran into each other over there.
Oh no, caught on the lineman.
That's something that you've talked about before. There, the pocket turns into a triangle. You step into that triangle, you're gonna get sacked every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I mean, not only because of the D line. Oh, Anki rounding the edge on Hippie.
That could
But
happen a lot this game. Hippie not really being much of a tackle and Anki being one of the best.
yeah, I mean, it was a quiet game from Anki and the one he just played in. So I expect he wants to come out and perform.
Took underneath the mag there, but I think he could have got Joshy over the top. Yeah, I mean, I think both games from Anki have been relatively quiet. I'd really like to see him just try to get a little more aggressive. I know that he's typically more of like a line leader and a
Setting
passive
it
kind
up.
of person.
Ooh,
I mean, that's what Death's known for right there. You give him leverage, he's coming down within 90% of the time.
yeah. I mean, definitely a much better pass than the last one he gave. So
I mean, last one just thrown directly at Juan's forehead.
I mean, also a classic Jipper play.
Yeah, I mean, Jipper knows every gimmick play in the book in this game, and I mean, he'll take advantage of every single one of them.
I mean, that's what it takes to take away the win. That Jipper's gonna do it.
Especially with the accuracy of Jipper. I mean, with that last game, that diving dot that he did twice,
Yeah.
probably the most confident person in this game in terms of throwing the ball. I mean, these guys coming out with Volcom off the line every play. You'd really like to see Miskie just run and make him line up right on Rats.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta make people play the way you want them to. If Volcom is gonna line up outside 2-5 every single play, like you just gotta keep running. You just keep sending it. I mean, 2-5, you're almost guaranteed 5 yards.
Yeah, and I mean, knowing that Volcom is a player that hates being in 3-4, I mean, running will probably be there the entire game if you want it. Get to Tachi on a quick comeback there.
Still 2-5. Oh, Marrero not hitting the block. Where he just gets the cut in. I mean, that's the only thing, right? Like you want to be able to run. You just have to really make sure your tackles are hitting that, because if they're not playing right in the center, then you at least have to have your edges hitting the block.
Yeah, I mean, running is pretty easy in this game, but all it takes is one person whiffing to completely ruin it.
Oh,
I mean, it's always scary when you try to dash in between the tackles.
yeah. I mean, I'm hesitant to blame it on Rats because Miskie did step up suddenly, but I mean that's the kind of pressure that's been getting in.
Yeah, at the same time, you got to give Rats some accountability because he got a little
Oh
deep
yeah, I
into the
mean
pocket there.
he definitely oh, sending it up on. Not that was almost a dot.
Almost. I think if the ball was just inside a little bit more, it would have been pretty good. These guys here, I imagine that he just throws a streak or something, but I'd really like to see like an in along the first or something along those lines just to catch them off guard or something. Well, just gets
It doesn't have time to throw it.
just
Yeah,
gets
even if it wasn't in.
stopped right in my tracks where he's just taking it upon himself to get the ball back. Jipper
Sending
was
it up to Joshy.
that was an alt throw, may I add.
I mean, it's Jipper.
It's it's tough to guard those when the quarterback throws it to a person he's not even looking at.
Yeah.
Jipper going for two as he always does.
I mean, when you have so many red zone plays, I mean, why not? I mean, especially because it's 14-0.
Yeah,
They're already up 2 scores. Might as well go for it. Make it a little bit more stressful.
that one looked like it was an in out in to the mag, just a little overthrown. The
Tachi sliding
blocks,
out.
the blocks decent there. Tachi losing a few trying to get too fancy. These guys, I mean, it's only the second quarter, but you'd really like to see them go get some points on the board here because, I mean, it's the story of this team. They seemingly start down 2 possessions every game.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a team that has slow starts, sometimes you come up against these games where just nothing comes together because all they have to do is stop you from you know stop your momentum and rats. I think missing a pancake and just
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, that's also on Miskie. I mean, you're stuck back there in the deep yellow for a period of time. You've got to just get rid of the ball.
yeah.
Volcom shooting in, almost getting it, just misses by a small margin. Miskie gets 12 because of it.
I mean, he makes up some of it, but it's still 4th and 15.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
these
gonna
guys.
have to call a deep comeback or something, but that's if he even has enough time. I mean, I think they've already had 2 turnovers, some sacks.
Yeah, I mean, he's just not getting time. Some miscommunication between him and the line, maybe. None of these guys really playing together
Oh
before.
no.
Man, Reed just 2 drives in a row just says, "Give me that ball." Says, "Stop that" in chat after. He's really feeling himself.
Honky. A little bit of return fire on the line.
Honky showing that he can do it too if he wants to. I mean, you'd really like to see a stop here just for the sake of the game. I mean, going down 3 scores early.
Ooh, speaking of Itachi with the pick in stride.
Yeah, I mean, Jipper just not seeing him, I guess, thinking that in the middle of the end zone was just free there. Tachi really sliding in there and getting a free one. Backed up here inside their own 15. Man, I just really want to see him run.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have to be more willing to take it. Like it seemed like even that run was Misky pulling teeth.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely did not want to take it. It looked like he was eyeing Tachi deep there, decided not to throw it. But I mean, you got Volcom lining up over the tackle. Jipper playing like 5 or so yards off of the line. I mean, they're just begging him to run the ball.
I mean, even if you're down 14-0, it's only the second quarter, so
I mean, in the War Machine game yesterday, we saw the War Machine score 14 in a minute and a half. So I mean, anything is possible in this game.
yeah. I mean, well, you're not scoring anything if you're just turning over the ball because you refuse to, make them play properly. See, Anki actually hit a pancake and then went to go block Regis. He's trying to do it all on the line right now.
Look at Miskie taking some delayed runs. The 40 between the two he just took. I mean, he really needs to just keep doing that.
Okay. I mean, first actual run he took 20 yards.
I mean, just like that, this entire drive, I mean, at least 60 yards of it is running. It's working. They should just abuse it.
And now Volcom's lining up properly.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make them play how you want them to play.
Oh,
Mm. Doing that fake run that he loves to try.
yeah. Just a fake run, and then he just walked right back into a sack. Honestly, if he had run, he still would have had positive yards. He at least would have been 2nd and 8, or maybe even 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I mean, considering Hippie, the only person on the edge over there, instantly just shot in. Oh man,
There was there. I don't think a single block hit.
nah, this line is really struggling for these guys in terms of pass protection. It's it's kind of been the story of this team, really.
Yeah. I mean, when you don't have any time to throw, I mean, even okay, Quan making the moves, hoping
All
Seb gets this block.
All right.
Oh, oh my God! If he had gotten that first,
I mean, Quan making the best out of that situation, taking it from a third and over 30 to a fourth and manageable.
yeah, that is insane. And like I said, that's that Quan yak. Sending it up to Seb for the touchdown. And I mean, that's huge. Finally getting points on the board. It's only one score. The only thing is now they're giving the ball back to Jipper, 1 minute left. And Jipper gets it back after halftime. So if they score and, they drive down in this 1 minute, they're in a really bad position to just be down by two possessions again.
Yeah, I mean, they really, really need to stop them here and possibly get the ball back. You would hate to see the Splatter score here and score again. Morero getting yellow pancaked back there. That's he got that's the third time I think that he's been either yellowed or red pancaked in the last two games. Gets pancaked again.
For the run. It's a huge run from Jipper. 30 yards.
Man, it's maybe he just needs to show a little more patience here, just kind of charging directly at the offensive tackle. Oh man, Jipper doing what he loves to do lately, just diving out of reach and throwing the ball away.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I hate the QB dive throwing, but it does look very theatrical. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I mean, the only person you really see do it is Jipper and occasionally DJK.
Yeah, I mean, they are pretty much the only people that do it.
Jipper getting another 12. I mean, it seems like the run is just free for both teams if they take it. Neither of them choosing to for the most part, though. Oh man,
Ooh, Morero.
that's
That's a that's pretty big. I mean, it's not huge because I think the ball still might just go up to death for the 50, but the further away it is, the harder it is to
oh man, thrown
Quan.
directly at Quan.
What a play from Quan. Shutting that down, making it so even if Splatter scores when they get the ball back, it's only
I mean,
it's only two scores.
I think that's Jipper knowing that there's only a few seconds left in the half, and he knows he gets the ball back, so he was just looking for another highlight reel play.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't even disagree with the play really. You have time, you're up and score. Like you just got to send that up, hope you get that. And I mean, that could have been the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I mean, if you get scored on like that, you gotta wonder what that does for a morale.
Oh,
Itachi wide
Itachi.
open.
Oof. Had to come up for that. He stopped moving like he had spot, but he came up at the last
Eh,
second.
I mean, ball came out a little late there. If it's seen a little earlier, you gotta wonder if that's going for a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean that would have been a play if that had gone for a touchdown.
And one thing I've noticed about these NGL games so far is none of these teams have the greatest kick returns.
Yeah, I mean, I think kick returns are they're something that happens as the team communicates and gets more synergy with everyone. So I mean, it makes sense for a draft league. All these teams have different kind of kick return schemes for blocking. So
Yeah, absolutely. Jipper running for another 12 yards right there. Takes a roll.
diving away, and if I'm Anki there, I'm like, oh come on, he's just diving away from me.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be annoying to play against, especially when you think you got that sack in the bag and he's just like, nah, son, dives 5 yards away from you and yeets the ball. Honky getting in immediately again.
Somehow, Jipper surviving, making that pass for the check down too.
Yeah, I mean, that's Jipper at his best. I mean, he never panics in the pocket. He's always poised. Goes for a fake comeback for Joshy there. He gets bagged by Seb.
Ooh, I'm. If he had still been up, I think that's going up to death there.
Absolutely. Kind of just got pinned on his sideline right there. He didn't really have anywhere to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's the that's the key to stopping these mobile pocket QBs. You like make them roll to the sideline, limit where they can go and what they can throw.
Yep. Taking Mag on the underneath there for an easy 20 yards.
Oof. Got a little greedy. I think he was really looking to hit that deep pass somewhere. I don't think he saw anything.
Yeah, I mean, going against an aggressive defensive lineman like Marrero, standing in the pocket's always kind of difficult to do because he's going to come at you full force if you're not moving.
They actually sent Regis and Rats dropped back to cover it.
That's
I'm surprised he just didn't send it up, honestly. But
I mean, yeah, to be honest, because Regis is known to have decent catching ability. Rasputin, not so
I
much.
think he probably didn't because Seb had backed up with Rats. But
It's bad dive angle from Marrero there.
sending it up, oh my! And Joshy capitalizing on Itachi's selling spot.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of just postered him right in the end zone. That's, I mean, if you're Itachi there, you kind of just got to shake it off and move on.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to move on to the next play. Yet again, Jipper play. Instant throw, hard to cover. I mean,
Yeah,
going for the two.
if I remember correctly, playing with Jipper, that 2 point conversion is a fake the sandwich. The receiver runs a drag, and
Mm-hmm.
it works like 80% of the time for him. There you go. A little bit better of a kick return, getting past the 30 this time.
And they are just barely within 2 scores right now.
Yeah, I mean these guys. I mean, you still got a quarter and a half to play, but down 2 possessions, you gotta start marching the ball down the field.
And I mean, that's not 2 safe possessions either. That's 2 scores and 2 points, 2 conversions. So I mean, that's gonna be tough considering I don't think I've seen Hydras hit one yet.
No, generally well, I think they hit one in the last game, but generally they don't go for 2 points. They almost always just kick the extra point.
I mean, right now, if they don't want to be down, oh wait, hold on,
Oh wait,
a huge run from Miskie,
look at
going
that!
for the touchdown, 67 yards, and he's ending their career.
Oh
But
man,
his teammates skipped it.
oh man, they said get that out of here. We're losing
I
right
wonder
now.
what they go for. Well, they're going for the 2. I mean, they kind
Yeah,
of have to, but they
I
need at
mean,
least one of the 2. They could have went for one to tie it, but
oh
and
man, Regis just backs up and says no.
I mean now, I mean even if they get that 2, they're still gonna be down by 1 point.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. They're just gonna have to play lockdown defense.
Yeah, they really have to stop Jipper here. They got to figure something out.
And I mean, that's always a scary thing to say when you say you have to stop Jipper. Let's see. I mean, they got a decent amount of time still. No reason to start rushing.
Ooh, okay. I mean,
Right?
when you're playing Jipper, you really, you know he wants to move a lot. So you really want to limit where he can go with your 2 other linemen, and you just have one guy ready to clean up. Oh, what a pass to death.
Yeah, I mean, that's just him telling Death, go get it. I have all my faith in you.
Yeah, say what you want about Jipper, but he makes these passes that to people that he doesn't have chemistry with. That I mean, I don't think a lot of these other QBs would.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really just him having
I mean,
faith. However, that,
for better or worse.
yeah, I mean, that one is just another situation where he didn't see Itachi. It just gives Itachi another easy interception.
I mean, it's a dangerous position for Miskie though. Pinned on the 2 yard line, he has to make something happen fast.
Oh man,
And I mean,
I'm
14-yard
surprised.
runs.
I'm surprised he only got 14 yards on that. It was looking scary there for a second.
I mean, you have to think if you're Miskie here, you have to realize every time I've run, it's just been for over 10 yards at least.
Yeah, I mean that Splatter team not stopping the run in any shape or form. This, I mean, he has the leverage on that, but Seb just
Oh,
backs up too
no.
much.
And I mean, you have the time. You're only down. I mean, you are down 2 possessions, but you would only have been down 2 points. You could have won with a field goal, but sending that up, I think Miskie, if he's shaking, sending that up, turn it over. I mean, you put yourself in a terrible, terrible position.
Yeah, I mean, that's just you have to realize that that kind of play, just throwing it up on a leveraged ball, is not how this team has been scoring. You just got to realize what's been in your advantage and abuse that.
I mean, not only that, they really don't have a lot of. Oh my God, Death looking like he's gonna take it.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a quick comeback right there, and all the blocks just shaped perfectly for him. Death's having himself quite the game, I believe. 126 and 3.
Yeah, for 3 catches. I mean, he's clearly Jipper's number one.
Oh, I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah.
he's been sending it up.
Oh man, Jipper all throws just dots the back.
I mean, Quan does have 2 picks, but that's just not enough to keep Hydra in the game.
No, I mean those two picks really don't mean anything if your team is not scoring off of the turnovers.
I mean, if you're Misky, you really have to look at your team. Like, you got to see that you have big time players. You have Quan, you have Seb who can make those plays, but your team is a lot better. Taking it one step at a time, taking the small plays, getting the checkdowns, driving down the field. Because I mean, on Jipper's team is a lot of those players that are big time players. You have Death, who's new. He's a 50 bot. On account of most people. But I mean, you have to abuse the fact that this team is just as unsynergized as your own.
Yeah, I mean
I mean,
Misky tries to run right there. Volcom just doesn't get touched at all.
yeah. Like I said, the middle pressure was definitely a struggle in the game they just played as well. Volcom off the edge again, up by 2 or 3 scores.
Misky gets jailed by his lineman there. It's not very often you see a quarterback continue to
Oh,
survive after that.
oh my God!
I mean, that's a risky throw. Just
For
trusting Quan.
for no reason, he had an easy at more than half of that off of that run right in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how Misky might be rattled. He's just not seeing things clearly. I'm not sure. Oh man, surely, yeah,
Sending it
Quan.
up, fake run to Quan, and it's a dot for the touchdown.
I mean, see, that's what happens when you got a team thinking about their run. He fakes that roll left, makes it look like he's gonna run. Mag, the
I
corner over there, bites down on it.
I will be fair. I don't think it was even a fake run. I think they really tried to run, and Mag blew that shit up.
Yeah, but I mean, as the corner, you got to be careful doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I hate when corners bite runs as a lineman. I'm like, please just let us take care of it. If it's a run, 10, 15 yards, touchdown in the worst case scenario. But if you give up that run, if you give up leverage on that pass, like, it's going to be a touchdown much more often than a lineman, selling the outside.
Yeah, I mean, especially when your team is up by 2 possessions, or I guess 3 possessions realistically, because it's still a 9-point game.
Yeah.
There's just no reason to bite that run. I mean, just you should be daring them to run the ball at that point. Yeah, I mean, Jipper understanding the assignment there, just no reason to throw the ball when you can just take an easy 7.
I mean, Jipper has no problem running the ball. I mean, he played on those, those canine rosters where all his receivers were doubled. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
where they're just playing, deep zones. So I mean, he'll take the run if you give it to him.
they send a 4-man there. Jipper just has absolutely nowhere to go. Miskie gets the sack. Yes, I mean, you got to wonder, do you think this is going to be a death play? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you called it. And Death almost taking it again.
yeah, I mean, that's Jipper just saying, go outside leverage. I'm going to tell you when the ball's coming.
Death had been staying still for a couple seconds before he even threw it. Jipper almost threw that man's spot. And it's just going up to Death again.
Oh, man. That's
Just
really just
a
in his bag.
sideline. I mean, 5 yards for 200, or 5 catches for 200 yards.
Yeah, that's just tragic. I mean,
I mean, that's 40 yards a catch, and you cannot. And he gets the 2-point conversion too. Death is going.
oh,
He is
man.
going crazy in this game.
Jipper just has all the confidence in the world right now. Him and Death really turning into quite the dynamic duo. I mean, before the draft, I don't know if you remember, people were begging Jipper not to take Death. So like, nah, man, please don't do it.
Yeah.
Like he's a new guy, making a newer team better. Please don't take him away. But I mean, in the GFA, I won't be surprised if you see a Death Jipper team come along.
Oof. Tight coverage by Death. Whenever I see that, I always expect it to just be like an absolute dot, and it's just the pick to the corner.
Yeah, I mean, or that. I mean, if I'm Miskie, I'm seeing that. I'm like, oh, I can definitely get him on a fake comeback.
Oof.
Surely it just runs, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's down by 17. It's such an ugly number to be down by. If he had just taken that one earlier.
Yeah, I mean, this is the story of Hydra, really. It just seems like the game's always just slightly out of reach.
Oh.
Just didn't read the pocket right. It's really tough. I mean, especially as the lineman giving up that sack when you feel like you didn't necessarily do anything wrong. It's just your quarterback stepping into a no man's land, basically.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, when I'm not lineman, QB does something to get sacked. I'm like, well, not my fault. Oh my! Just holding the ball way too long.
Yeah, I mean that was interesting. Jipper went and covered a weak side comeback where he was looking to cover one, and then said, "You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna blitz." Whiffs, and then Miskie gets sacked anyways. I just feel like,
Oh
man,
my god! Reed just having like, also having a game.
yeah, it's just starting to look like that line is morally defeated. Just giving up sack after sack after sack at this point.
I mean, it's like it's like in the NFL, how defenses they get gassed, and it's not exactly applicable to gridiron, but I think there is something to be said for when when you're on the field, especially line. Yeah, every play you have to be on point, or else you never know. You give up a sack that could cost the game. I think there's something to be said for, kind of like a mental exhaustion, especially when, your QB's holding the ball, things are happening that aren't your fault, but, it looks like you're selling.
Yeah, it's tough to stay in that mind state of next play if every play seems like it's going wrong.
Yeah, it's tough to be in that mindset when next play looks just as bad as the one that just happened.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to have some positives to keep you going, but I
And
mean,
Seb trying to give a positive for the Hydra team.
yeah, but it's just tough at this point when they're down by 17
Yeah.
with a minute 24 left.
I mean, you're down by 3 possessions. There's little hope right now, I think, in the VC for the Hydra.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you just have to try to string something together and just try to get some sort of chemistry flowing for future games.
Yeah. Oh, just stuck on rats, taking the sack.
And
Bring
man,
in Regis to 7 on
yeah,
the game.
it's 14 sacks from that line. It's pretty tough to win a game when you're giving up double digit sacks.
Oh my god. Regis is going inside. Yet another.
Man, at this point, it's Regis is probably over there saying, "Give me 10." It's just getting difficult to watch at this point. It's just every play offensively for these guys is just not going well.
Yeah. I mean, they really just it's really painful when the team just really can't get anything going.
Yeah, I mean, it's the last drive was sack, sack, sack. Fourth and gridiron doesn't pay off, and this drive being the exact same thing.
And now
Sends
they're sending the
everybody,
house. They're sending 5, and they just send Death
man.
for the pick. And I mean, that's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I can't really blame Miskie for throwing that directly to death when he had six people or five people come at him. Like, you can't even look.
Oh, Anki coming alive, kind of, trying to make somewhat of a statement with his stats.
Yeah, I mean, Anki, is the kind of player that can stay positive, but
Oh yeah, but I mean, Anki, he definitely hates losing. And I mean, I think this is
oh
a tough one,
man,
especially with Itachi selling another pass.
Itachi just stands there the entire time thinking he 100% has spot, and Mag just walks right next to him and says, "Nah."
I mean, I respect it as a person that misses spot and just, stands still. However, you would expect, oh my, and just Death's 4th touchdown of this game.
I mean, like at that point, it's like, what could Quan even do? Like the coverage was
I mean, that
not
was just
bad.
no, that was just a dot. And I mean, like that's kind of the problem, right? I mean, it's the responsibility of the line to put the pressure in, so they can't make that throw. And I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not sure who caught that.
What?
Someone stepped out of bounds
I
and caught it.
think Death caught the ball,
No,
but
it was someone on red because they got tackled.
that's an interesting play. Death just sitting frogged in the end zone over there saying, "Dot me up, Chipper."
He really wanted Jipper just to throw him spot. He had to
Yeah.
come up for it a little bit though.
I mean, everybody went over there to Death. I don't even know if there was other receivers over
Sending the
there.
foreman, just leaving Anki wide open.
Honky might return it to the crib.
Quan can hit his blocks. Aw,
Unfortunately, Anki doesn't have that kind of yak.
true. I mean, you gotta think they gotta send Anki again, right? Like, oh, we
Yeah,
we
I
have a
mean,
Tachi at QB now.
oh man, you gotta wonder what that means for the team morale if Miskie got voted out of QB.
Oh no.
Oh man, that just makes me feel like the comms over there are not the best right now.
I mean, you see in chat QB controversy. Quan saying yes, although I think it's probably a joke.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope it's a joke.
Oh no.
Quan just not even playing. He's just standing there. Why is he still
Oh
alive?
my god.
I mean, that will be our game. I believe that's the biggest blowout of the season so far. 44-21. Just game was out of reach the entire time.
Um, 12, 9. Um, yeah, maybe. I mean, Seaman cheesesteaks was 22-42. No, I think Blue Devils Blackhawks it was 44-19.
Damn. I mean, some of these
But I mean,
games.
it's close though.
Yeah, I mean, Jipper 15 for 22 didn't throw the ball a ton, but I mean, 400 yards on 15 completions.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
when you have a receiver going 250 yards for 7 catches.
three interceptions too. I mean, Death was really just doing it all out there.
Yeah, I mean, he said whatever, this is my game. I'm here to win it.
Yeah, I mean, with that, the Splatter go to 1-2, keeping playoff hopes alive. Hydra going to 0-3. If they don't win, their next couple games, they might just be one of the teams that missed the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, starting 0-3 for the Hydras. That's a deep hole. They're gonna have to win like every game from this point.
Yeah, I mean, a 7-game season. I mean, six of the eight teams do make it, but I mean, starting 0-3, the best you can do is 4-3. I mean, it's a tough road ahead.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I mean, we're gonna go ahead and end it there. We hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and we'll catch you for the next one.